Mr. President, dear colleagues, we all agree that human rights are universal. They are for all human beings, no matter who you are or where you come from, no matter your background or your convictions. This has been true since 1948, when the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted. We have intrinsic value as individuals, as the human beings we are. These rights have improved millions of lives across the globe ever since. But to be completely honest with you, I'm not sure where we are today. Have states forgotten that they must deliver an indispensable set of rights to all human beings? Like many others in this room, I spent quite some time talking to people in Ukraine and in Gaza these past months, listening to their stories. And they do not seem to find any comfort in the Declaration of Human Rights. They do not experience that the universal human rights are indeed universal. That's one of the biggest challenges facing the human rights framework right now, if you ask me, if not the biggest. We must act in order to convince them. Let the people of Ukraine know that we support their human rights. Let the people suffering in Gaza know that we support them. We must continue to insist that human rights are universal. And words are not enough. We need to act. We have done it before. Building common ground in promoting human rights is not only an aspiration. Let me give you an example. This year, we celebrate the 40th anniversary of the UN Convention Against Torture, a convention that has paved the way for an almost worldwide prohibition of torture, a convention that has made cruel and inhuman punishment unacceptable, a convention Denmark has proudly promoted all 40 years. 173 states have ratified the convention. Only 22 countries need to join before there is universal ratification. Let us do more of that, so we can deliver on our shared promise that human rights are indeed universal. It's no easy task. Human rights are being violated every single day. For more than 2 years, Ukrainians have lived in fear of targeted attacks, indiscriminate violence and occupation. There are reports of widespread use of torture in the illegally occupied territories of Ukraine. For more than 4 months, civilians in both Israel and Gaza have experienced that their human rights have been violated as a result of the conflict. We must not lose track of our long-term vision. A two-state solution with an Israeli state and a Palestinian state living side by side in peaceful coexistence. In South Sudan, violence between armed groups have resulted in displacement, looting and abuses in most parts of the country. In Afghanistan, the Taliban continues to suppress the rights of women and girls who deserve to live in freedom and dignity. And just last week, Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny died in prison while fighting for a different Russia. And the list goes on and on. In times of crisis, the risk of polarization is immense. But now more than ever, we need to stick together. Let this be my last point today. We need this Human Rights Council. We need the United Nations, because dialogue is the only way forward. We must insist on human rights as part of our common ground. That is our shared responsibility. Thank you.